Hey y'all, and welcome back to Due South Sips and Travel Tips. I'm Nina V. King DuPont, and today you're going with me to the Riu Las Americas here in Cancun Hotel Zone. Haven't done the Hotel Zone in 7 or 8 years, so this is completely a little bit of a new for me. The last time I did the Hotel Zone was back in 2018. I feel like when I did Secrets to the Vine. Not a big fan of the Hotel Zone. I don't like the feel of it because I am from Atlanta, Georgia, and I live very close to Panama City Beach, Florida, and it's very much of a similar kind of feel here in the Hotel Zone. It's like Panama City meets Miami. Been to Miami a lot too, so it always has felt that way to me. I never really feel like I'm really in Mexico when I do the Hotel Zone. However, I will say the water is beautiful. It's a lot like it is in Panama City Beach. That's another reason I don't do the Hotel Zone a lot. I haven't done it very much at all, honestly. So, wanted to give a Riu a go. This is the Riu Palace. This is like their highest end of their brand, okay? I have access to all the other Rius around because of it. And they do have wristbands here. Not a fan of that either. However, the food, etc., so far has been great, and I will talk about that more later. This is an adults-only property, which y'all know I'm a big fan of. Just a short walk away. If you walk out of the resort and make a left and walk maybe 2-3 minutes, Riu Cancun is there on the left, so I have access to that property. And they will shuttle you to other Rius if there is a party there. So like there's a party at Riu Caribe tonight. Probably not going to do that. I got up at 2 a.m. to be here today. I did check in around 8:30 a.m. here, and I've had access to the property all day. So I've already had breakfast and lunch here. It has been raining a lot, so I haven't gotten in the water yet, but it is absolutely beautiful here. I really love the old school kind of architecture that is prevalent here. Anyways, without further ado, you know the drill. Let's get on into it. We landed at the Cancun airport super early, and this time I used Santiago Chavez for my private transfers, y'all. He is epic, okay? I have really enjoyed working with him recently. Santiago Chavez does work for local tours, and they actually will do private transfers as well as tours and private tours as well. So I highly recommend them. I haven't used them before, but I did use them this trip and for a couple of other trips that I have taken since. Really pleased with their customer service. They have been prompt, they have been on time, and they also have a sign with your name on it, which I thought was really great. I've seen that in other countries with other transfer companies, but I haven't had that yet in the Cancun area, so that was really fun. And we arrived at Riu Palace Las Americas around 8:30 a.m. It's about a 15 to 20 minute ride, like I said, and we were there. And as soon as we got there, we checked in. We were able to use the property. Our room was not ready yet, but we had some breakfast, and it was absolutely incredible. Also, local tours will stop in an OXXO or OXXO or a GoMart, which are two gas stations down in the Quintana Roo area for free. So they will do like a quick stop for you at a convenience store. If you want to do like a stop at Walmart or like the Mexican Walmart, which I can never pronounce, that is a bit more of a fee. I really love stopping at one of those to get what I want. However, you're going to see footage a little bit later in this video of the Mexican Walmart, which is right down the street from the Riu Palace, and I did walk there and buy a bunch of stuff, so more about that later. The first thing you're going to see when you enter the Riu Palace Las Americas is some glass doors leading out to the pool area, and y'all, it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that is one thing about the Hotel Zone. It's always gorgeous in this area, but this lobby situation and the pool overlooking the ocean is absolutely spectacular. I can't say enough about it. Really enjoyed that every morning. Would go out for a morning walk. Again, this is a smaller property, so you're going to be able to get around very quickly. Waiting on elevators was never an issue. I know sometimes at Rius, people, have a long time waiting for the elevator. So first of all, let's talk about some of the other features of the property. They do have a coffee shop. I'm going to show you footage of that in a moment. I really enjoyed the coffee shop. I really love when a property does have a coffee shop. It's really a nice addition. I've gone to a lot of resorts lately that do not, and that's one thing I really enjoyed about this Riu Palace. And they have several restaurants. Since it is a palace, it is first come, first serve for reservations, which I also really love. So you don't have to worry about that. It's like a Secrets or Excellence or Valentina Perel Riviera Maya in that regard. So no reservations necessary. I'll go into the restaurants and food in general in a little bit. Also, the beach there is really nice. We did have to search for a lounger at the beach most days. So people do have a tendency to play the chair game here. However, by the quiet pool, which is the first pool that you see when you walk out to the lobby, you're not going to play that chair game. You are going to play it by the, quote, party pool. The party pool does have a swim-up bar, which was also really nice. The entertainment here was also great. I will talk about that in a little bit as well. Really impressed with the entertainment by the pool at this resort. The lobby bar here was incredibly fun. Like I said in the previous clip, I am going to show some video of the saxophone player that they had one night. It was so unexpectedly a good time. I can't even explain. The bar was lively. There were tons of people, anywhere from their 20s to 50s to even 60s. And everyone was just having a blast. I did go for another night where the piano player played, and wow, it was so much fun. We met a lot of people here. I did meet one gal at this resort, and we're now Facebook friends. I met a lot of other people that had seen my channel or had also found me in the Riu group when I did make a post in the Riu Palace Las Americas. So that was also awesome. And the drinks here were certainly elevated for an all-inclusive resort. I mean, they weren't like craft cocktaily, but the martinis all had great flavors. They had multiple options to pick from. I feel like a lot of these all-inclusives, the menus are always like the same. Like you can get like a sea breeze, or you can get like their version of a Sex on the Beach or whatever. But here the martinis were very creative, and they were actually delicious. I also felt like the alcohol here, like the ABV was fairly close to the States. I feel like some resorts I've gone to, like the Barceló or Catalonia Royal Tulum, or even like a Holiday Inn all-inclusive, the ABV is not real. So you never really feel what you're drinking. But here at the Riu, I definitely did. I love the fact that they had this lobby bar at night. They had that option for you to do music there almost every night except one. And they also had a show every night in the outside lobby area. I did not make it to any of the shows. If you watch my videos, you know that shows aren't my thing. I've never really disclosed why, but I will in a get to know me video that's coming later this year. Anyways, the shows did look good. From what I could see, I just didn't hang out and watch any of the shows. But I do love it when resorts have all these different options. They even had a band a couple of nights. But one of the things I really loved about this property that I'm going to get into in a minute is the party options that they have. And they're not at the Riu Palace Las Americas. They actually will bus you to another Riu. And I thought that was amazing. All the Riu properties are like this. So I'm going to tell you more about that in a little bit. But the lobby bar here was everything, y'all. I even love the decor. I can't say enough good things about it. It really felt elevated, again, for the price point that I paid. Okay, so this is the basic BITCH room here at the Riu Las Americas. So far, I have been really impressed with this resort for the money. I never thought that I would like a Riu. When you walk in, the first thing you see to the right is the bathroom. It is super spacious. This is an older property. That's probably one of the reasons why. It is a walk-in shower situation. They do have like the wall soaps, which I'm not a huge fan of, but so many of the resorts have gone to that lately. Then here is the potty. You do get a mirror. This one looks kind of busted, but whatever. It is not lit up, obviously. Looks like we don't have any soap. Oh, you get liquid soap. Okay. So there's some weird nuances for the money, I feel like. Here is the safe. It is a rather large closet, which is nice. You do get a mini bar here. You know, Rius are like super known for these types of liquor dispensers like you see in the DR all the time. Coffee maker, ice bucket. You get huge bottles of water, which I love. The mini bar is super lackluster. You just get some mixers here. And some sodas and beers, etc. We'll see what we get tomorrow when I put money in the mini bar with a note. Again, this is just the basic room. So we wanted a king bed, but we did get 2 doubles that are just pushed together, which whatever, I'm fine with that. Large mirror. I love a full-length mirror at these situations. It's really well lit, which I also like. I feel like in a lot of these all-inclusives, the rooms are never really well lit. We did want to go ahead and get in our room. We could have gotten a higher floor, but I was like, no, let's just go ahead and do this. So it's the 2nd floor room. You do go down these steps and into this little living area. Again, this is the cheapest room type. It's just like a junior suite. There is no caste system here. There's no like club level. Everybody's treated the same, which I think is really nice. I always buy into those club levels, but and then this is the balcony. Again, not the best view. View of Fiesta Americana. And you do get a little bit of a water view of the backwater over here and of one of the shopping places. So again, for the money, y'all, and you do get kind of an ocean view over here. But for the money, like, I'm really, really impressed. Just because I've always been scared of Rius, but I'll talk more about that later. You're having a hold of this. Okay, y'all, so you can walk over to the Riu Cancun from the Riu Palace. It's only like, oh, look at the food. It's only like a 5-minute, it's not even 5-minute walk in my opinion. Super close. You can see the palace over there. And then this is the Riu Cancun right there. It's just, it has more of a modern feel, but it has all the kids. And it feels to me like what my perception of what a Riu was going to be like. Like, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of kids. It's trashy, I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah. One of the major perks about staying at a Riu Palace is that you do get access to all the other Rius in the area, okay? I really enjoy that. The Riu Palace next door is the Riu Cancun. And when I stayed at this Riu Palace Las Americas, the Riu Cancun was family friendly. However, it is now adults only. So if you're watching this video a year from now, currently it is February of 2025. I did visit this resort in November of 2024. You're probably going to see a different refurb at the Riu Palace Las Americas by 2026. So just be aware of that. I don't think they're going to change much about like the decor and the overall aesthetic, but they are going to update the rooms and some of the restaurants, etc. And I definitely think the rooms need a refurb. So the walk over to Riu Cancun is super quick. I mean, it's maybe like a 5-minute walk if you're kind of a fast walker. You just exit the lobby and go left, and you will have access to everything at the Riu Cancun. The Riu Cancun is super modern. As you're going to see in the video here, it is very different than the palace. The palace is really got those European kind of vibes. I really like that. I like that more than a modern resort. But if you're looking for that more modern, that Secrets Divine kind of clean aesthetic, then you're definitely going to want to stay at the Riu Cancun. We did eat lunch over there one day, and the food wasn't great, okay? It was much better at the Palace, and I've heard that overall about Rius in general. The Palaces definitely have the higher-tiered rooms and food quality, etc. So really was not impressed with the meal that I did have over there. I did not eat at the a la cartes at the Riu Cancun because I was staying at the Palace, and why would I downgrade that experience? But it was fun to go over there and have some drinks, etc. One of the really cool things about this property is that it is within walking distance of I'm not even going to say it because I can't say it right. I'm just going to spell it Chedraui, which is like a Mexican Walmart, basically. If you come out of the resort and you make a left and you walk like 4 or 5 blocks, it is across the street. It is a smaller one, but it is awesome. You can run in there and get your electrolytes if you want to get some alcohol that is maybe, not included in the all-inclusive package at the Riu, or if you want to get some makeup or dog treats or whatever and take those back home. That is always an option. I have got to where every time I go down to Mexico now, I do visit one of these because everything there is like a quarter of the cost of what it is in the States. Even my makeup, again, my dog treats, like all that kind of stuff. So I stock up whenever I go down there. So if you are into that kind of stuff, I definitely would, or you want to shop for those things. You can also get your sunblock there, so you don't have to pack it in, or worry about carrying it on and trying to put it into small containers. They also have souvenirs there, which are much cheaper than at the resort. So if you do go to one of the bigger locations, they actually have like a bakery and places where they make tortillas. So highly recommend you doing this while you're in the area of the hotel zone, or even if you're not. The service at this resort was really good. I was surprised how great it was for the cost, and especially for the fact that it was a Riu. I've always heard that Rius were not that great, that they were more budget resorts, but in some cases the service was better than at a lot of the higher end properties that I've been to. I mean, even at the buffet, they were just on top of it, all over you, wanting to know what you wanted next. I was so pleasantly surprised by that, and I'm not sure if it's because I was at a Palace or not. I do know at the other 2 Riu properties that I did while I was at this one, I did notice that the service wasn't quite up to the same par. Also, the pools here were good. There is like a quiet pool and there is a party pool. The swim up bar is at the party pool. All of the entertainment programming does go on during the day at that party pool. So just an FYI. Also, the beach there is really nice. It is kind of small. The lounger game is definitely real. People do reserve them early. But however, we were able to usually get a lounger, but we didn't always have an umbrella no matter what time we went out there. I'm not one of those people that's going to get up and try to find a lounger. If you want to hang out by the quiet pool, there's even free Bali beds that you can have. There is drink service at the beach and at the pool, so that's also really nice for such a budget property. So we came over to the Riu. Yes, this is where the shooting was the other week, but I don't care. To check out their jungle party. They really hype up these parties lately. Really excited about it. I haven't done something like this since I'm breathless. So we will see how it is. Already got my first shot of tequila. It's definitely like a super party scene over here. It looks like they turned like the kiddie pool into like where they're gonna have the party at. So we'll see how it goes. Cheers, all. It's party time. I loved the party that I went to at this resort. So let me explain a little bit. If you stay at a Riu, any Riu, you do get access to the other Rius in the area. If you stay at a Riu Palace. If you stay at any Riu, you're going to be able to go to the Riu parties that are in the area. So the Riu that had the parties in the hotel zone where I was at was the Riu Tropical. And it was so awesome. I did the jungle party. There's a number of parties they have throughout the week. You can, I'm sure they change often. You can go into the different Riu groups and find out what the days are, etc. But I did the jungle party. They will actually do your makeup for you like an animal if you want before you go to the party in the lobby area of this Riu Palace, and then they bus you there. I didn't get my makeup done, I'm not into that, but they take you on a bus to the resort. And the pool that you're at that the party takes place in is really cute. It's like almost like a kiddie pool. It's just a couple of feet deep, but it was so much fun. I mean, you're going to see the footage here. Oh my gosh. From the foam to the DJs to the girls that were dancing and the guys and the theming. I didn't think I was going to love it because I'm not really into house music, but it was so awesome. It was very different than any other foam party I've ever been to. I will say that. They did have an Instagrammable area. They also had folks that were coming around to take professional photos. It was so much fun. Don't sleep on this if you do go to any Riu property. Even if you're like a little bit older and you're like, I don't think I'm going to like that. I'm 45 and I thought, this might be a little bit young for me. I don't really know, even though I am a big drinker. It was so fantastical. I just can't say enough good things about it. Do not sleep on these parties if you go. I wish I would have done another one, but I think probably one was enough for me during the 4 nights that I was staying there. Oh, by the way, some of the parties are during the day and some are at night, and I chose to do one during the day because I don't like to stay up super late. It's last day, best day. We are transferring this afternoon to the Hilton Garden Inn at the airport, just because we have a really early flight and they have a rooftop pool, and I did steal the idea from another travel influencer. So I'm really excited about that, but I am a little sad. We won't be back until January. Right now, I'm really leaning towards the Hyatt Vivid. It's here in the Hotel Zone, and it looks great. Anyways, I'll keep y'all updated on that, but food hasn't been great here, and I'll update y'all on that as well when I get back to Atlanta. But it's always a great stay, no matter where I am. Rius are officially not scary. Well, this one isn't. So I would be willing to try another Riu in the future. Maybe one in Playa, like the Palace. I don't know. We'll see. So I'll update y'all more when I'm back in ATL. Okay, it's the food portion of this video. So I am going to show you a tour of each restaurant, and I will also insert pictures after each tour. First of all, for breakfast, your options are the buffet or room service. The buffet here is really good for both breakfast, lunch, and I'm not sure about dinner, but if it's anything like the breakfast and lunch, it's fabulous, okay? So your options for lunch are Los Arcos, which is the Italian restaurant, or the buffet. Again, the buffet was great. Rius seems to try to push you towards a buffet when you are at their resort. They would much rather you go to the buffet than the a la cartes, probably because of time, because of cost management, etc. So let me insert some video and some information about the Italian restaurant here. Los Arcos is the Italian restaurant. The theming is super cute. For lunch, it is pretty much the same menu as dinner, except for dinner they have a few more options. You're going to find the a la cartes here at any Riu do not have a large selection for entrees at a la cartes. This one is just like many of the restaurants where they do have this little buffet option that you can go up and get food before you get your entree. The buffet food was much better than the actual entrees. The entrees were absolute hot garbage. Olive Garden is much better, like by 10 times. So, while Riu did a great job on the theming of this restaurant, the food is a hot mess express. So, if you like Italian, don't go in expecting even an Olive Garden grade meal, just a heads up. The service is good, however, but the food, not so much. Pro tip, all of the a la carte restaurants for dinner are no reservations. So that's very nice. You can just walk in at whatever time you want and try to get seated. Some of the restaurants are less crowded than others. The steakhouse is the most crowded, so I would try to get there as early as possible. We did get turned away from the steakhouse the night that we tried to go there. It is the most popular restaurant, so you want to get there as soon as it opens. The a la cartes do not have many hours that they are open. They're only open a few hours each night. Again, Riu really tries to push you towards the buffet. So if you want to do that steakhouse, get there early. Okay, so they do a lot of pop-ups here, it seems like, which we really liked. We did the grill out they had the other day, and they do that on Saturday and Wednesday. And then today is Tuesday, and they're doing like a taco pop-up piece. This resort does offer various pop-ups for lunch some days. So if you want to find out exactly what days they are currently doing this, I would ask in one of the Riu Palace Las Americas groups. They are chock full of information. When we were there, we saw a taco pop-up, and we did not participate in that one, but we did do the barbecue pop-up, and it was yummy. I will insert pictures of that here so you all can see that. Okay, the next restaurant we are going to look at is actually the Japanese restaurant. I had the Japanese the very first night that we arrived, and it was amazing. It was the only meal I had that really stood out, and that is Sakura. I will show you a restaurant tour of it now, and I will also insert pictures of what we had. We had some ramen, we had some egg rolls as an entree. It was so good. I went live in my Valentina Imperial Riviera Maya group. I do that often so that folks can see various other resorts to compare to VIM. And at that point, I was pretty impressed with the food because it was the first time I was there and it was the Japanese. However, it set the bar super high, and then none of the other restaurants compared to it. So if I were you and you do like a Japanese, I would definitely check out Sakura while you were at this resort. It was my absolute favorite restaurant there. Okay, this is Sakura, which is the Japanese restaurant. It was actually really freaking good. This was our first meal here in a la carte, and I was really, really impressed and thought it was going to be, the rest of the a la cartes were going to be as impressive. However, it wasn't. But our food here, y'all, I'll put the pictures in below, but oh my God, it was so good. It was really comparable to Jinya, if you've ever eaten there. It is a Japanese chain situation in the States. This is the steakhouse, the black and white steakhouse, I guess that's the name of it. It is open air, so be prepared. If you come in the summer, it's probably hot as balls out here. Do they have a buffet here too, or no? Or you don't know? We don't know if they have a buffet here or not. We did not get to eat here. They may have a situation like that here. We're just not sure. But It's also really difficult to get into this restaurant. I've been reading that in the resort groups. We tried to come one night and it closes early. So it's the only restaurant that closes or stops seating at 9. So if you want to eat here, get here early. Okay, this is the Crystal restaurant. I will insert pictures of the dinner we had here, but it is like their fusion restaurant. I don't really know how to describe it. The theming in here is really pretty. The food here was lackluster at best. Did not really love it. But again, it is really pretty in here. I really love the like these like glass placemats. I thought they were really cool. So Crystal is the fusion restaurant. I was actually fairly excited about this restaurant because I do eat mostly vegetarian, and a lot of the dishes seem very eccentric, but I feel like it was trying too hard. The food was not very good. I had this like almost like this mushroom risotto with like an egg in it, and it sounded good on the menu, but it was just it was not great. So I definitely feel as though you could definitely skip this restaurant altogether. It's trying too hard. Even with the theming, it's kind of like, what the heck is going on? It's pretty, but it was just okay. There was hardly anybody in there when we ate there, so I'm sure that also was an indicator that it wasn't great. The next restaurant, the final a la carte, is the Mexican restaurant. It is Fiesta Mexicana. Oh my God, it was disgusting. Taco Bell is better. It was not good at all. It had one of those weird buffet situations again, and who wants to eat a freaking Mexican buffet? I would skip this one altogether. It's probably the worst Mexican meal I've ever had in my entire life. Y'all, look how cute this coffee shop is. It is so stinking cute. You have to go over there to get your coffee, but it's adorable. But I love black and white stuff like this, so yeah.
I like the thrones.
Like what?
The thrones.
Thrones, yeah. Anyway, we're definitely gonna co-work in here tomorrow. Here are a few more pictures and video of the coffee shop so you can see the offerings there. Okay, so this is the Lounge 24 situation. It's their version of a 24-hour grab and go situation. It's very typical of these resorts. They always have sandwich stuff here. They always have a hot option. They have nachos, pizza, and they do have draft beer. They have a soda fountain. And in the mornings, the coffee shop doesn't open until 7. So in the interim, you can come here and make a coffee. And they do have like a coffee pot or something like that in the room. I never pay attention to that because I am a tea drinker. And then they have the alcohol dispensers here, like they have in the room. So, but there's a lot of seating here. This resort is really friendly to smokers. I feel like for those of you that's always a concern. I know that here you get a lot of options. They even have a little smoking area out here. And they have one at the very front of the resort. They have one towards, and I'll show it to y'all in a little bit, but they have one that's on the roof of one of the buildings, and then of course you can always smoke on the beach. I know you're not really supposed to, but I mean everybody does it. So anyway, this is open 24 hours a day. Okay, hey y'all, so this video is gonna look a little different than my normal cap off videos. I am trying to pack and get ready to go to Salem, Massachusetts tomorrow. I am going to visit the Lizzie Borden house while I'm there, and I'm going to be filming for the channel, so doing something a little bit different than I usually do. So in lieu of that, I'm just going to run through a few little pro tips really quickly.
The first one is there is not a dress code at this resort for any of the dinner restaurants. So you definitely have that to look forward to if you're a dude and you don't want to have to pack long pants. You can wear shorts. You can pretty much get away with anything except for a tank top. So that's some good news. Also, another pro tip that I have is definitely order your drink before you go to dinner at the a la carte or before you go to dinner at the buffet. There's not a dedicated bar here to push out drinks for you. So you could be sitting there waiting like 10 or 15 minutes to get your sea breeze or daiquiri or whatever you want to order. So I would definitely bring your drink to dinner. Go get it at the bar and then take it to the restaurant. My third pro tip is make sure you try all the drinks at this resort, okay? Because they don't have that sugary aftertaste like you get a lot at VIM or some of the other all-inclusive resorts. They are really good. I talked about that earlier in the video, but I just wanted to reiterate that. Next is they don't have turn down service at this resort. Sad Penguin Day. You know, I love turn down service. I was really looking forward to it. They don't have it here. And you know, the price point reflects that. So they also didn't have it at another resort that I did recently that I do have another video coming out hopefully soon about it. So definitely just note that they don't have turn down here, but they will service your room daily and they do restock the mini bar daily. All right. The other thing that didn't make it into the video because the video was getting a little long is that this resort is in the thick of the hotel zone and you can walk anywhere. It's within walking distance of Hard Rock Cafe, of Senor Frogs. So if you like to do those type of things while you're at this resort, it's easily accessible. You don't need to obviously do an Uber or get a cab. You can just walk there and it's so safe. I promise. It's just as safe as walking around in downtown Atlanta or Boston or whatever. Just be vigilant of your surroundings. And last but not least is the espresso martinis are delicious here. I'm a basic white, you know what, when it comes to that. So definitely have an espresso martini there for me. Alrighty. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to Due South Sips and Travel Tips. I will really appreciate it. I'm almost monetized on Facebook. I'm about to get there on YouTube. It's the only way I'm going to be able to continue to help everybody in my Facebook group. It's the only way that I'm going to be able to grow, and I really want to be able to continue to push out this content for you all. It's what I love. It's what I want to do eventually. So please definitely like, subscribe, all the things. I have lots more videos coming out soon. I've just been kind of lacking on getting them edited because of my real job always gets in the way. So until then, Hammy and I will definitely see you in a video soon. Hammy's actually at my parents right now because I am flying out, but Hammy will be in the next video, don't you worry. And until then, don't forget that experiences are greater than material things. Hammy and I will see you in a video really soon.